Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be testing out a kind of newish foundation. I have here the ELF Camo Powder Foundation to test out for you guys. This has been around maybe for like a month or two now. I'm a little bit late to testing it out, but honestly, I have not had the best luck recently when testing out new foundations. If you guys have been watching my channel the last couple of videos, I might have touched on an allergic reaction or just how sensitive my skin has been. So I have been a little bit hesitant to test this out, especially because I have had a very love-hate relationship with the ELF Camo line. I think back in 2020 or early 2021, I tested out their Camo CC cream and I had an allergic reaction to that. So it's been definitely hit or miss for me, but I absolutely love their camo concealers. So I figured we're just gonna kind of like say a prayer. Hopefully this one works out for me. And I'm really interested in testing out this ELF Camo Powder Foundation. So we are going to be doing that today, getting my first impression, seeing the application, and then of course I'm also going to be doing a wear test on this product as well. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing this video, and if you are interested in seeing my first impressions and thoughts on the ELF Camo Powder Foundation, make sure to keep on watching. Very excited and also nervous to test this out today. I've had this sitting in my collection maybe for about a month or two at this point. Oh my gosh, the packaging on this is so nice. It's only $11, I believe, and this just feels very, very luxurious. Let me see if I could get you guys a good close-up here. It has this really nice white packaging, which I know that I'm going to get dirty. And then this is what the actual powder itself looks like. And then it also does come with the puff, which I usually do like these for powder foundations. We are going to be testing this out, or we could try like a sponge or a brush depending on how the puff goes. The shade right off the bat looks like it might be a little bit dark for me today. I picked up the shade Light 210N because that is the shade that I previously tried out in the Camo CC cream, which was a pretty good match. And usually like light neutral is typically what I go for in ELF. Luckily, I still do have a little bit left over of my self tanner, so hopefully we could kind of even this out and make it work, but definitely looks a little bit dark for being that typical light neutral shade that I usually get from ELF. Just to cover some of the basics in this foundation, it retails for $11, which is pretty affordable. You guys know ELF prices are typically nothing crazy. I feel like $11 for something like this is not bad. You get 0.28 ounces or 8 grams of product in here, and it looks like on ELF's website we have 30 shades, which is not bad, especially for a powder foundation. I feel like powder foundations usually don't have that large of a shade range. So far the actual range looks pretty good on this. It says that it is a primer infused pressed powder foundation that delivers buildable coverage in an airbrushed finish. It's a long wear foundation formula that offers medium to full coverage and a semi-matte finish. It's talc free, non-comedogenic, and it pairs well with the rest of the camo makeup collection. So hopefully I like this. As I said, it does say that it is great for all skin types. Of course, I will have it linked down below if you guys want to read up on the product, but I'm definitely kind of anxious to get into this. So let's go ahead and jump on into the application. I am going to start off with ELF's Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers ever. It has a really nice satin finish. And of course, I'm sure you guys know when working with a powder foundation, make sure you get all your creams and liquids on before. You're definitely not going to want to layer any creams or liquids on top of the powder foundation. So I am just going to start off with my concealer. I don't want to put too much concealer, really just kind of focus it under the eye. And the shade that I wear in their camo concealer right now is Light Sand. What I really want to make sure that I do here from experience with other powder foundations is kind of really diffusing the edge of my concealer down here onto my cheek, only because I have had some experiences where I'll go to put on that powder foundation and it'll just grab any wet concealer that's like too built up under my eye. So I really just want to make sure to blend this out under my cheek so I don't get that harsh line where you can distinctly see where the concealer ends and the powder foundation starts on the face. Let's dip into this. I am a little bit nervous about this shade. Oh my God, this is gonna be way too dark. All right, let's just go with it. If my tan was like a little bit more fresh, I would probably be okay with this. But it actually looks like it's also oxidizing really quickly as soon as it's kind of settling in. Wow, but it's very, very pretty though, you guys. If you could see right off the bat, I feel like it's extremely smoothing and like really high coverage on the skin compared to this side. Actually, it looks really pretty so far. Just wish it was like a hair lighter on the skin. So I'm actually just going to do one half of my face so we can compare. I'm just kind of using like a mixture of patting and swiping motions. Get around my eyebrows. It's always a little tough to get around my eyebrows with the powder foundation. Wow, the coverage on this is crazy though. Do you guys see my nose, how it's like so red on this side and then how much it covered up over here? I feel like a lot of the times with powder foundation, they don't easily impress me. So for this one to like be impressing me this much right now is definitely a good thing. So I have high hopes for this so far. Definitely the color, as I said, is throwing me off. I'm gonna try to blend it into my ear. All right, so as I'm sure you guys can see from one half of my face being done compared to the other, this definitely provides like a high, medium to full coverage. I definitely think I could keep building it up if I wanted to, but you guys know me, I'm not like too crazy about like extremely full coverage anymore. I like a little bit of skin peeking through, definitely about that natural look. And I also feel like just looking at this up close and in person, it's not cakey, but it definitely has that semi-matte finish. And I am nervous that if I go too much with this, it's going to be even more matte and just kind of start looking a little bit dry on the skin. So I think I am just going to leave it at this one layer. It just looks so nice. I feel like forever I've been looking for like a quick and easy powder foundation. I don't really mind doing liquids, but some days you just want something like extremely, extremely easy. And this definitely is. So let's go ahead and do this side. And I feel like this will work for me as we are getting into the summer. As I get a little bit more of a tan or like with a fresh self tan, this color is going to be good. So maybe I'll pick it up in something a little bit lighter for when I'm not tan. All right, so here is my full face complete with the ELF Camo Foundation Powder. I'm sure if you guys couldn't tell already, I am really, really enjoying this. I'm so happy that we're having like so far a successful first impression. This just looks so nice on the skin. It was extremely easy to apply, as I'm sure you guys got from the application. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it is seriously so easy to apply. I will say I did have a little bit of trouble applying it around my eyebrows just because this sponge, you know, the sponge is a little bit large. I had to kind of bend it and pat it. It's honestly not a big deal. I probably could just reach for like a little brush like this or something like that if I really wanted to. It's not a big deal at all, but I just feel like my skin looks so smooth and it actually looks like I'm wearing a liquid foundation that I set down with powder. I think one of my favorite things about it so far is not only is it lightweight, but it doesn't look flat on the skin either. For being just like purely powder on my skin right now, my skin I feel like still has a lot of nice dimension to it. I almost feel like I don't necessarily need a ton of bronzer. I feel like the higher points of my cheekbones still kind of have a little tiny bit of a glow to them. I don't feel completely matte and flat either, which is really great. I am just going to use a little tiny bit of bronzer just to see how powders kind of act on top of this. I'm just going to use a little bit. Again, I don't feel like I need it. For some reason, I feel like the way that the powder foundation is sitting, I'm getting almost like a bronzy look already up here, but just for testing purposes, I'm gonna use just a little bit today. I will do this on camera with you guys too. I'm just gonna take a touch of my Fenty Beauty bronzer, which honestly I don't even know if it's showing up on this powder foundation because of the color of it. All right, so far so good with the bronzer. Again, I just did a very little bit, but It definitely seems to be like blending in nicely, and it doesn't look like it's actually removing any of the powder foundation that's underneath. For blush today, I'm just gonna use a little bit of Milani Rose d'Oro powder blush. Blush was also a success with this. It's kind of just sitting on top of the powder really nicely. It's definitely not removing any of the powder foundation, which again is one of my biggest fears with the powder foundation. So really good on the bronzer and the blush, and then just a little bit of highlighter, which I'm sure is going to be good too. Just a little tiny bit. I'm not too highlighter crazy anymore like I used to be. All right, so I just went ahead and finished up the rest of my face off of camera, finished up my lower lash line as well as threw on a lip. The last thing that I want to do to go along with this ELF Camo Powder Foundation is just do a little bit of my Rare Beauty Illuminating Spray. It is a little bit more matte than I would typically go for, so I feel like just to freshen it up a little bit, and how I would typically wear it day to day is with the Rare Beauty spray. So that is what I'm gonna do today, just to kind of make my first impression how I would typically wear it, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of this, not too much though. Then go ahead and dry it with my little fan. We are officially done with application. I know it was a little bit of a long one this time, but I really just wanted to show you guys how other products play with this, and I figured it would be helpful for you. But first impression, I'm sure you guys already know I am really loving this so far. I love the coverage. It is so lightweight, so comfortable. It really is just like blurring and airbrush looking on the skin. But of course, I definitely want to wear this throughout the day. I want to see how it holds up. I want to see, I'm not sure what the wear claim is on this. It doesn't look like it has a specific wear claim on this, like 12 hours or 16, 24 hours like some face products usually do, but it does say that it stays put from first application to last call. So I have a good feeling about this. Hopefully it stays put. Hopefully we don't have any allergic reactions or anything, but right now it is 1:19 in the afternoon, if my camera wants to focus. Honestly, so far the only con with this is the shade, which is not a big deal. It could be easily switched out. Again, this is light 210N, which was typically my shade in ELF, but I feel like just keep in mind that this does run a little bit on the darker side. I would say, I honestly feel like I might have to pick up a fair shade in this for like my non-tan days. Let me see, maybe 140W, because I feel like this is neutral, but I do feel like it's leaning a little bit on the red side as well. So maybe fair 140W will give me a little bit more of like a warm neutral undertone, or something a little bit more yellow to kind of match my chest right here is a little bit more yellow. So I will see you guys in a couple hours, just a couple seconds for you for my check-in to see how this is holding up on the skin. Hi guys, I am back to do my end of day check-in for the ELF Camo Powder Foundation. Right now we are just shy of 8 hours of wear. It is 9:06 p.m. so probably just around 8 hours I've had this on. I think I started application around 1 o'clock. So I'm happy that I got to do the 8-hour wear test for you guys. I always feel like for these types of videos, the longer wear test that I could do, the better, because if I'm wearing this for like an 8-hour work day, or if I have to wear it for even longer, of course I want to see how products are going to hold up on the skin. You guys, this is so impressive to me. Right off the bat, I could tell you that I really love this. Of course, granted, usually if I do have an allergic reaction to something, it sometimes doesn't show up until after I take off the product. So if anything happens to my skin, I will definitely keep you guys posted. Hopefully this video ends without any surprises and all goes smoothly, but I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. Of course, I'm sure you guys can see 8 hours in, definitely some of my oils, my natural oils, have started to peek through. The powder, like, it really just looks so natural on the skin. It's definitely going to be very friendly for me on a work morning, on an early morning when I'm running late and I just want like a quick makeup look. It looks so beautiful on the skin, you guys. I really do not see a difference from like when I wear my normal full coverage liquid foundations and a powder. Besides a little bit of shine that I'm getting on the skin, it genuinely looks like almost completely untouched. It does not look faded or rubbed off or like it broke up or anything like that. So last thing I quickly want to do is just kind of touch up to see if I just go in with a little bit more powder on the sponge. It should just get rid of that shine if you guys were more oily and you wanted to do like a slight touch up. Look at that, it looks good as new. And it doesn't look cakey either, which is really good. The touch-up worked extremely well, as I'm sure you guys just saw. It really just like blurs. Like this looks actually good as new. Like we just applied this 8 hours ago. It still looks just as good. I cannot believe how good this looks for over 8 hours of wear. All right, you guys, so those are my final thoughts. That is going to conclude my first impression on the ELF Camo Powder Foundation. Overall, I'm sure you guys can tell that I absolutely love this. I am so happy that this was a hit, and it just looks so good. I can't stop looking at my skin in the mirror. If you guys have seen me looking down, I just can't stop looking at my face, because so far I think we have a winner. I really love this, so definitely go ahead and buy this. I will have it linked down below if you guys want to shop. I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this video and spending time with me today. If you did, and if you want to see more makeup reviews in the future, please give this video a thumbs up so I know, and it really helps me out. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, click that notification bell down below and you'll get notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.